Hi, and welcome to our backyard. What I plan to do today is to reconfigure this end of the garden so that we can make a space for our greenhouse here. Yeah, so last weekend we mapped out where we're gonna put the greenhouse, which is right here, and that's gonna pretty much obliterate that corner of the garden. Okay. And take up a little bit of the corner of this garden here too. So what I plan to do is to change the shape of this side of the garden a little bit. So today we're going to show you how to build a raised garden bed, hopefully. Anyway, it's really not hard. All you have to do is basically screw together a couple of boards in a rectangle shape and fill it up with dirt. Stake it into the ground, and you're good to go. So once we get our stuff together, then I guess we can get started. Look what came in the mail today. I've been getting these ads on Facebook, and for once, because I never ever click on these Facebook ads, I decided to check it out, and I bought myself these farming sleeves, which I just thought they were pretty. I just liked them. They weren't that expensive. But I'm super excited that they're here. Not that I'm gonna wear them today because it's pretty chilly today, but I might try them on later.
Want it?
Yeah, no, they're too big for you. Are they pretty? Do you like them?
Yeah.
Ooh, look, they gave me a sticker too. I'm gonna put it in my car. I love how this bag is apparently 100% compostable. I don't know why they just don't do that with all plastic bags. So that's fun. I get to look forward to the summer where I can wear these and don't have to be scratched up by my blackberry plants and squash plants. There. That used to be a Dropkick Murphys sticker. Now it's a Farmers Defense sticker. All right, so I bought these boards. This is what I'm going to construct the walls of the garden from. These are cedar fence posts I got, and over here in my lumber pile I'm gonna snag a couple of scraps that I think will be useful for stakes, like this one. These square ones here. It's really useful to have a lot of scrap lumber lying around. These will be good, but I should probably take the nails out of that. A couple more over here. All right. This is actually an extra board that I purchased last time, and you can see how nice it is. This is a 10-inch wide board. It's really smooth. It's nice and thick. It's been in my shed, so there's some spider eggs on it. But these cost, these were pretty expensive. They were $5 a board foot. So this board, which is 8 feet long, was about $40. And in the interest of saving money, so that it can be put into the greenhouse project I have planned, I went with these fence posts instead. Now these are not as nice, but they're still cedar. They are $4 each to cut these and piece them together. There's a musical interlude happening here. And piece them together in order to make the lengths that I want. And I'll probably also have to stack them too high in order to get an equivalent height to the boards that I already have. Even with having to buy double the length so that I could account for using 2 of them in the height. The price of these boards was less than a third of what it would have been to buy the wider custom cut boards. So it was definitely worth it. So last year I constructed some raised beds, just mainly these 2 here. And I bought actual cedar boards for them from the lumber yard. And there's a couple extra ones that I have here that I just didn't have enough to do this whole part of the garden last year because it was quite expensive. What you got? So the first thing that I have to do is remove these 4x4s. I'm gonna take these off. They're just screwed into the ground. They're just screwed into the ground with these smaller pieces of 4x4s that I just kind of stuck there and buried them, and then they're just screwed together here. So with my drill, I'm just gonna pop all these screws out and then move these somewhere else. They're taking a bath.
You like this, Mommy?
Yes, you're very cute. Guess that means I built a sturdy.
That thing didn't drop a little water.
Yeah, well, it's not hooked up yet.
Okay.
This summer we'll hook it up so we can actually use it. Well, that one's stripped. Not coming out. This has happened with at least one screw on every board. Yeah, it's called stripped, May. It's a big problem.
No, it's my problem.
Yeah, it's a big problem. It doesn't look like it's stripped. That means the screws are stuck in the wood. It's actually turning out to be a bit more trouble than I had thought it would be, because apparently I stacked them too deep, so I'm actually having to dig them out of the ground. And I screwed them together with deck screws, several of which are stripped right now, and they're causing a lot of trouble for me to get them out of the wood so that I can pull the studs apart. Anyway, once I'm done with that, then I'm going to set the new fence posts that I bought into the ground for the walls. So I may extend the length of it a little bit, and then I will attach them and make them into rectangles. I'm gonna try to cut this screw out because it's stripped. So we'll see if this works. Ready?
Yes.
Let's see, does it work? Yeah!
Mommy, I cut something now.
Hmm?
I want to cut something now.
What do you want to cut?
I want to cut some wood.
I don't know, Ba.
Can I cut this?
No,
Please, I
no.
want to.
No, honey. I'm not comfortable with you using an electric saw.
Mommy, you be with me.
I can't, honey, because I got other stuff to do. Why don't you go get the little hacksaw? It's in the shed. You can play with that.
Those things are fun, Mommy.
I know. It's really hard to get anything done with kids around, and this is one reason why. So Meme loves to draw, so she had my pencil and then she lost it. So of course now I have nothing to mark the boards with when I have to saw them. So then I went to the garage to go and get another pencil, and during that time Bubba took my drill bit, fell out of it, and it's lost in the ground somewhere, and I was pretty upset because I thought that was the only one that I had. So fortunately I was able to find one more, although it's a slightly different size, and now I just dropped it, almost lost it. Yes, this is very important, very important. I should probably buy a lot of extra ones of these. Somewhere here is apparently where the drill bit got dropped. Well, I'm pretty sure we'll never see it again. So the hardest thing about building these raised beds is getting started. Once you have a starting point, then you can sort of build off from there. So I actually already had a starting point. I just left this post in the ground, and I am going to replace it. But for the purposes of just getting started, I stuck a screw into there just to hold the board in place, and as you see, I can rotate the board up and down around it. And then from that point of the screw, I ran this green string along the ground and anchored it over there so that I had a straight line. And then, since I'm going to be using more than one board here, I had to put a stake into the ground so that I can attach 2 boards end to end. So I set this stake right up to the string line here and pounded it into the ground with a hammer. I cut the end off of it like this to make it pointy. And then I made sure that it was relatively, it's not level. Make sure it's level. So go this way a little bit. Not so important for it to be level, as important as it is for it to be level this way, and that looks pretty decent. That's a good level. All right, and then now that I have this stake here, I can go ahead and attach the board to it, and I'll have my, just making sure that this is level. Actually, it's level right where it's sitting, right there. And then I'll just go ahead and attach it here to this stake. It's probably a good idea to pre-drill the holes because this first hole that we drilled there cracked. But right now we're just trying to hold everything in place. Ah! Okay, Bubba, careful, careful. Find the positions where we need to put in the stakes. Bubba, the wrecker. So now that I have this one board set, I'm putting this one right here so that we can figure out where to put this next stake. So we're going to use the end of this board, yep, right there, and this green string. We want the board to overlap with the stake so that it can attach to it. And we want this stake to be here even with the string so that it is straight. All right, so I got one leg of the fence laid. At least one half of it. I'm gonna put another layer of boards on top of that, so it's a little bit deeper. You can see right here, this corner post, I put in a square one so that I can attach the boards to both sides of it. It looks pretty straight. Now what I'm gonna do is set another row on top of that. Got one side of the garden put together. It's been like all day. It's 4 o'clock now. It's not here at 11, so that took a really long time. I have to make 3 of those raised beds eventually, and then 2 more at the end, so 5. So I'd like to at least get one of them done today. And now I will move on to the next side. Well, it's 6, almost 7 o'clock now, and I didn't quite finish. But the kids are totally done. I had to put them in the car. They like to play in the car. But anyway, almost done. As you can see, I really just have to finish this one part of the wall here and that end. And I'm sort of resetting these 2 posts here at the end because they didn't quite line up perfectly with the way that I wanted everything to line up. But maybe tomorrow, if it doesn't rain, I can get out here and finish it. And then I only have to build 4 more of these things. Let me tell you, these long ones are a lot more difficult to build than these short ones were. So if you're starting out building a raised bed for the first time, I would start with something like a 6x4 that you can use solid pieces of wood for and don't have to piece together smaller lengths. It just makes it a lot more straightforward. But anyway, hopefully I'll be able to show you some updates soon when we get our new garden put together, our new garden configuration. And anyway, until then, hope you enjoyed watching us and see you again soon.